Hi everybody, I am Somi. I would like to speak about single parenting. I am a single parent myself to a 21-year-old daughter. The reason why I would like to speak about this is because it's very rare that we really focus or we are concerned about raising our children. And I have taken note from abantu abatshatileyo who are also my friends. You can still be married, and then you find out you are the only parent who is parenting these kids. Also, some people are single parents because they are widowers or they are like me. You were in a relationship and then it didn't work and then you have to raise a child. In my case, when I found out that I was pregnant, it was one of those unfortunate incidents whereby the father was not there from the very first month of my pregnancy. We had a very good relationship. I'm not just talking about anyone. He was my fiancé for 3 years, and then things didn't work well for us, and then we separated. It was one of the most painful journeys, but from that time, I just told myself that I was going to fully depend. I made a choice that I will depend to God and pray that firstly my child will grow well, and when the child is born, God must help me that I'm able to raise this child, to get the resources, because here in South Africa it's some people are jobless, and unfortunately I was jobless. I already had a 3-year diploma that time, but it was difficult for me to get a job. So now that's where my journey started, that I realized that single parenting is one of the existing things. It can happen to anyone, as I've already said, that some other people that I know are my friends who are married. They are single parents, though they are still married. So now in my case, God helped me. Firstly, I needed amandla to raise this child, because you cannot do it on your own. Mentally, I needed to be ready. The child is here, I'm rejected myself, so I must love my child. So how did it happen? As I've said, that I prayed about it, God helped me. I had no resources then, but today I want us to look at how did I manage to do this. Now the father is not willing to be part of this journey. What did I do? I realized that there's a magistrate or court where you can go, uyombambela i-maintenance, we call it support. So I went there, ndayombamba. Some other people, they find it difficult, because I have friends of mine who say, no, I won't do it, God is going to help me. Let me tell you the honest truth. Godly things, you must do them in advance. You must pray in advance. It's not like you are going to say, God, I need the Pampers now, and then they are there. You must have something that is tangible, because as the child grows, if the child gets sick, you can ask God to heal the child. Sometimes it doesn't work immediately. Hence I'm saying you have to do things in advance in terms of praying to get the things. Like for instance, when your child is still unborn, you must pray that when they are outside, God must provide them. Now the child is outside, what is it that you are going to do to get imali ukukhulisa lo mntwana? So I went to the magistrate court, and then things went well, because the father now had to pay maintenance and to buy clothing. But it was not really my intention, but things were very, very tough for me. And I have realized that some other people, or some of my friends, they think that to go there, it's an embarrassment, or the system or what is, it's not easy when you are there. But hence I'm saying that if you pray, because I'm already, my hope was already with God, that He helped me, because we know that you might go to the magistrate or the prosecutors, they are not favoring you. I've already prayed for it. Yes, they favored me. But one thing that I didn't do right was to ask them to issue garnish order. Because now if it's between me and the very same person who was not willing to be part of this journey, I had to call him, and then sometimes people will be cheeky when they have to give you the money or buy the clothing and the stuff like that. In so much that crumbled, because he stopped to pay And then now I told myself I was never gonna go back to the system because I was working now. So life was easy. And then my child, when she was 6 years old now, things are becoming, because most cost of living is too high. I'm working, and then my child is going to school, but the money is not really enough. You're asking the father to help, and unfortunately, my daughter was asthmatic, so even the medical aid will finish. So I really needed the other help, but the other partner was not there. So what I did, I went back to the system, to the magistrate, to ask that they make him to continue with the payment. But by this time, I'm not a new client to the system, so they picked up that he stopped for a period of for a long time, and then the money has accumulated, and that time I've already relocated to Cape Town, and then now I left him in Eastern Cape, so they had to tell him to come to Western Cape for this case. So the files were brought into Western Cape, and then we met with the prosecutor. What was funny, the baby daddy had an A3 size envelope with lots of documents, or his debts. And what I like is, hence I've said that some of my friends, they don't want to go to the system because sometimes the prosecutors are not really favoring them. But because I've said that, I already told myself that I will pray about everything. I prayed about it. Guess what? As soon as he took out the A3 size envelope with Amatyala Ake, the lady who was helping the prosecutor said to him, Puti, I also have my own debts. So what I'm going to say, are you going to bring me all these invoices and the things that you are paying? What about this other partner of yours who's only taking care of this child and you are not there? So now we must discuss that when you've got this and this and this, at least you have to be reasonable. First of all, you are here because you stopped paying and the money accumulated. And then he realized that he was on the wrong, but we eventually had an amicable way where he was going to be part of this. And since that year, since 2015, not even once I increased that amount, because it was never about being sarcastic to him or being or wanting him or forcing him to take out his money. But I was really stranded because my salary was not enough to raise this child that I am raising with all these other complications she was having. But by God's grace, Emihle, my daughter, the asthma just vanished, and then now she outgrew the sickness, and then she was fine. But now I was really focusing in her education and the stuff like that. So I just want to encourage other ladies who are out there. The system is something that we should use. You cannot really suffer because you don't want to the magistrate. As I've said, that it's either you put your hope in God or whatsoever that you believe into, that things will favor you. Also, to the other parties, if you are a parent, try by all means to be part of your child, because children, they grow and then they become successful, and you miss out. You were not part of this whole thing. Because recently my daughter's father called me because he is realizing now the child is doing a 3rd year and he's never been part of this. Even if it's during holidays, I'll forcefully make sure that my child goes and visit the grandmother from the father's side, and then it's then he wants to be part. But if I'm not initiating anything, it's just quiet. But I just want to encourage other ladies that you must know that single parenting is not easy, because you need mental capability to raise this child. And you must also know that you are not focusing on this child only. You yourself also, your well-being is very, very important, because without mental capabilities, you cannot do it. Even to those who think that it's embarrassing to go to a magistrate court to file a case for a father or a mother who doesn't want to be part of Abantwana, then you must know it's not. I fully understand in some other cases, the other party doesn't want the father or the mother to be part of this child, but we must always think of our children, that they are the most and priority. into all these things. Hopefully you like my video, and I will try and do another one, more stories about this journey. Thank you.